Well, Lion Ted is at it again. Ted Cruz is going to get out there and claim that his dad was tortured by Castro and his aunt was tortured by Castro. Now, honestly, I don't know about his aunt, but his dad damn sure left Cuba before Castro came to power. So he's lying his ass off. And I'm going to fall back on the age-old analogy that if it hasn't worked in 50 years, what the hell do you think is going to make it work in the next 50 years? So Obama did what any logical person would do, which is to change the direction. Because dollars to donuts, Cuba being as close as it is to the United States, i.e. Florida, and tourism being reestablished for the most part, between the United States and Cuba, dollars are going to flow in. People are going to start opening up businesses, even if they got to give a kickback to the government, like the people who had businesses had to give a kickback to the mob here in the United States. But things are going to improve. And as people are able to make money, their lifestyle is going to improve. And the Castro brothers are not going to be there forever. Fidel is of ill health, and he's probably, got one foot in the grave and another one on the banana peel. And his brother, Raul, he's an old codger too. So it's not going to be this year. It might not be in the next 5 years, but within 10 years, things are going to radically change in Cuba, obviously for the Cuban people for the better, because a lot of people, i.e. people of means, that are able to go over to Cuba and actually to move around unfettered, they all come back and say, the Cuban people have nothing against the United States. They want to normalize relations, and this is what Obama's doing. So screw Rubio, screw Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is lying, and it's always better to talk and have relations with people than to not talk and not have any relations, because that's when misconceptions occur. And in this particular case, our embargo has caused the people to suffer, not the leaders, because they're living more than likely in the lap of luxury, but the people to suffer. And if you're really about the people, the hell with the politics.
So his policy concerning Cuba and Iran both have parallels, where he's allowing billions of dollars to go to tyrants who hate America, who are state sponsors of terrorism, who are fighting against our nation. I think it's a real mistake. I think the president ought to instead be pushing for a free Cuba. It's 90 miles off the coast of America. And to go there and essentially act as an apologist, it was really striking. And my dad was imprisoned and tortured in Cuba.
Yeah, it's a lie.
He fought with Castro in the revolution, and he was imprisoned and tortured by Batista. And then my aunt, Maite Sonia.
Okay, I take that back. Batista might have tortured him, but then when Castro came to power, he should have been fine. But obviously, Lion Ted isn't fine with Castro, who fought against Batista, who apparently liberated his father. The story's changed so much, you never know what the hell is going on.
Was imprisoned and tortured by Castro. And so my family has seen firsthand the evil and the oppression in Cuba. And we need to have a president that stands up to our enemy.
How widely...
See, and that's the thing with Lion Ted. You never know what's going on. If his father fought with Castro, why would Castro imprison his aunt? That's a bunch, that's why Lion Ted is just that, Lion Ted. Hopefully, this Obama meeting with Castro on the island of Cuba is going to create some benefits, because there have been there's tons of businessmen that were on that plane with Obama, because they can't wait to get onto that island, especially the hotels, the telecommunication guys, and the tourism industry. They can't wait to get their mitts into Cuba. And then once normalized relationships really open up, the casinos will be flowing in Cuba. Trust me. The only thing is, it won't be the mob. It'll be legitimate people. But Caribbean vacations and casinos go hand in hand.